dreaming. This could be a 50-50, but it's 100% all in. COL achieves. Ready, set, go.
Well, the writer in F. wants Complexity to win this one, but the objective caster in You and Me achieves. Doesn't matter who wins it. We just want Rocket League to win. And with players as expansive and full of flair as these guys on the pitch right now, I think Rocket League's about to win over the next up to 5 games.
Yeah, I would absolutely believe you've got a series with banger goal after banger goal, or you have like a 1-1, you know, overtime over and over and over. That's kind of, it's either defense is a crutch or defense is OP, I think, is how this one plays out.
I'm going to go with a crutch, and it can already be 1-0 to G2 as JNats puts that onto the crossbar. Normally he's so accurate with his shooting chances, but that one not quite to be. Here's Atomic, the man who has completely changed G2's fortunes. What a pickup he was. They're not able to score there, and this is where Complexity can damage absolutely anybody. When you have AJG staring at the goal with boost in the tank, it is utterly terrifying to defend against, no matter how good your defense is.
It's the best part about watching Complexity.
Do you know what they're going to do?
Yeah, they're just so in... They've got this very intuitive understanding of what to do with the ball next. And and the spots that they get themselves into is quite frankly astounding. As Shad trying to capitalize on a mistouch from Chicago. G2 with Atomic had an excellent performance in the major. Definitely not willing to give one up for free just yet.
Already seeing some creativity and attack here from Complexity, going for bumps and demos. Missed them, but going for them at least, as opposed to going for the ball, so mixing up their approach. As Razeball takes this one down at the side. Up against Atomic. He's going to get past Atomic as well. Shad's coming in. AJG is just there, lingering, waiting. What a redirect, though, that was from Shad. It flashed across the G2 goal. This one remains 0-0, but it's a very fast-paced 0-0. Good shape to this game.
Yeah, really liking G2 trying to get in there, really throw some wrenches into that Complexity rotation, see if they can throw off that sense of timing that they've got. G2 really yet to start squeezing that Complexity defense. It's spent a fair bit of time on that blue half, but nothing really dangerous per se coming out of that G2 offense just yet.
Raceball almost got that flip reset, but wasn't quite able to get it, which meant it was relatively simple to defend from G2 as Atomic gets a linking touch into the corner, and then Chicago just takes out Shad. What can G2 do with that space? Nothing there. They're actually racing each other for central boost G2, so it's Complexity that have a slightly better shape to them in the first half of this opening game of the series, but G2, they only need a split second in order to really harm their opponents. This could be it. JNats wants to get the second touch and gets it. Razeball can clear. G2 defending quite deep, having one man forward.
Yeah, definitely well aware that a lot of the touches that they're going for are going to put Complexity in a spot where the only answer is to absolutely smash the ball down the pitch to try and get a little bit of extra space to work with. And G2 just able to avoid a Razeball dunk right now. I like Complexity, slowly working their way forward out of their own half. Definitely trying to take a more controlled approach to their transition. Trying to stay a little closer, take the ball out of G2's hands a little bit.
This is the most extended G2 pressure we've had, getting a lot more touches on the ball and seem to have more boost than their opponents right now. You saw JNats just picking up the one that was spawned underneath them in the center. So G2 have definitely wrestled the control. They've taken their time with it, shown a lot of patience, their experience. This is now a championship winning team. They've seen it all and done it all. Can they win this game? They can, maybe right here. Still time left for Complexity, but it's 1-0 G2.
Yeah, AJG, this is kind of an awkward spot to be in. 21 boost, a pinch coming down towards the net. He's just trying to jump and hope he's in a decent spot. To be honest, really wasn't too bad. Just the shot definitely better than the early jump would imply. He covered up a lot, but certainly not enough. Giving away a little bit of space, and he got punished for it.
They had to hold they had to hold Complexity back, sorry, for about half of this game, but G2 have their lead as JNats tries to set up Atomic to double it up. Atomic wisely goes to the side, knows what Complexity going to go for, but a few more brilliant demos. G2, they just barge themselves so much space.
Really nice job. Atomic actually getting that boost steal in the corner was huge, and it really did slow down that rotation out of that corner, especially with that demo coming through. They kind of needed to figure out how to orient themselves, headed back to net. Chicago, a year to shoot that ball. Absolutely delivered a strike, top of the net, great shot.
The boost steal was absolutely huge, and it wasn't an accident either. Atomic realized so quickly that he wasn't going to get the redirect and changed his mind in an instant to go for boost instead of ball, completely opening up Complexity. G2, such a smart offense when they get it going, but Complexity, they're going to keep going as well. Razeball off the back of the back wall there. Jnaps keeps it going. Complexity really want to slow this one down in G2 territory. There's a trade there in the center. Is that one sneaking in? Yes, it is. And suddenly, we've got life in this game.
Always how it goes. You can't keep Complexity out for too long. Raise Bull, really nice stutter step out of the corner, letting that ball bounce around to give him an opportunity to actually dig that one off the wall out into the middle and away from the defense instead of just rushing it through around the corner and getting challenged. Complexity give themselves a fighting chance, and that's a great kickoff. Raise Bull has to dodge Atomic, though, decides to take the boost kick to Shad off the bar, and that's AJG not quite in position, has to dump it off to Shad, and they're going to try and stitch this one together, but they just don't have it.
There was a bump coming in as well that only had to be on target. And Complexity could have ridden their momentum into taking this one potentially to overtime, but they've missed one chance. Will they get another? Maybe this one's coming up now. Atomic does connect with it. AJG there in the end manages to get it, and G2 just slowing things right down. Shadow defense. Just trying to frustrate Complexity. See this first game away. Jnaps does have a flip reset. Chicago can kill it. He can't, but it's wide. But it will end right there. So there was some scary moments to G2, but they saw it away in the end, F-Dot.
Really did control a lot of that one too, F-Dot. I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of great approaches from G2, slowly but surely kind of Python constricting that Complexity defense into a spot they just couldn't defend.
Yeah, I think ultimately when it comes down to it, as we take a look at the Mobile One high performance replay here, it really comes down to the fact that G2, I think they just hard exhaled after that first one. We're like, all right, boys, listen. All due respect to friends, that's not supposed to happen. Don't let it happen again. Y'all ready for the next one? Da-na-na, and that's exactly what went down. Like, they came in here, they slowed it down. Complexity, the real team. So obviously, you know, this was closer than they might have expected the first round to go. But ultimately, what I saw of G2 here was just a collapse into what they're more known for doing. A much more stable approach, Cole, I think, is what we saw at G2. And reeling it in, as I like to say, I think is really important for this G2 squad.
Reeling it in and then throwing it out just in an instant, like a snake, just going, just when you least expect it. That is what G2 seem to do. And up against Complexity, it was too much for them in the end. But I think Complexity, obviously they'll be over it now, but they'll be kicking themselves that they didn't take that opportunity for the second goal. Had they taken that, then things could have been different. We could still be in that overtime. But as it stands, Achieves, it is G2 who take a 1-0 lead in this series. And they will have so much confidence of doubling that up, especially with the good start from the kickoff. And Shad having to do some backboard defense.
And G2 really picking up right where they left off, trying to take a lot of space on the pitch, going for these boost deals out in the corners, very much ahead of the ball and trusting people to make a play and keep possession. And while it's risky, can be very effective at stifling a team like Complexity who uses so much boost on offense.
Chicago out wide. Can I be the first to say, by the way, welcome back to lovely Aquadome. I've missed this map. It's absolutely beautiful. There's stingrays everywhere. Yeah, exactly. It has to be said. It is a thing of beauty. Some amazing moments have been on this map. The Dignitas Vitality overtime from Season 8, that was on Aquadome. You know, will there be better moments than that going forward? We'll have to wait and see. Maybe they'll come in this game. Maybe they'll come in the form of whatever Jnaps does right here. Now he just booms it, and we carry on in our merry little ways.
Nah, he just booms it.
I mean, that was asking for a lot. But Jnaps to top the entirety of the Vitality Dignitas overtime with whatever he was about to do. But hey, he still failed. That's not a fail, though. It's a nice shot, but it's safe.
That would have been one of the peak calls of your career if he just hit an absolute banger. I'd been like, put it in the reel.
Something we've never seen before in our Rocket League viewing lives. There you go. We've seen that one before. Chicago getting it over the top of the defender and nestling it in the net.
And there's again Jnaps well in front of the ball. No guarantee that he gets the demo. And if he doesn't, Chicago's going to be beat to that ball. And G2 would have been in a tight spot, but they execute on this aggressive strategy. Chicago with the perfect shot all the way to the back post. Again, well-deserved opener for G2. So good at cannibalizing space where it is.
When you are winning, those risks always seem to go in your favor. And also when you are winning, you know how to turn chances into goals. And that's what Chicago has done yet again. It's his fourth of the series.
It's a cheeky bump from Chicago to take out the defender from from just taking away that JNAP's tap down to the ground. If that bump doesn't get through, that ball just gets poked out to the sidewall, and G2 has to reset. But no, again, another demo, or I suppose the bump more accurately, gets it done for him. And Shad really just trying to break the momentum of G2 here with this long clear. Who knows if they actually can hold on to the ball. AJG trying to drill it home, and he's actually going to make it through everybody. Again, they'll cut the lead in half, this time much earlier.
Yeah, well, it was via JNAPS. I don't think this one was going in. Had it not hit, JNAPS was returning to his goal. Maybe it was going to bounce over. Maybe it was going to make it in under the crossbar. Either way, unfortunate for JNAPS, but exactly what Complexity needed to give themselves a break in a game that was just starting to turn away from them.
You may never know. That's always kind of the thing if you're Complexity. You can't rely on... I guess you could call that a mistake from G2. JNAP's just caught rotating into the net, into poking it in, and whether or not it was in or not no longer matters. They've let Complexity back into the game, and quick transition, not enough to get it done. The deep rotation from Atomic.
Yeah, just one goal has just changed Complexity already. When a team gets one, you can almost see their belief just come straight back to them, especially a team that's as emotional, as mechanical as Complexity. They're going to try everything in their toolbook now to get back into this one. Chicago's going to try and slow it down. AJG's 50-50 is won pretty comprehensively by Chicago, who's still going as well. Wants to just piece that ball towards Atomic at the back post. But it's read by, I think all three Complexity players had a claim at that ball. It was Shad who took it away. And eventually it falls to Atomic again. A good challenge there from Raiseball. Shad's coming in, but good speed there from JNAPS. If he hadn't have won that, then maybe G2 were in trouble.
Maybe. It's still so much time, and Complexity slowly but surely forcing G2 to at least fight Atomic. What are you doing there? Chicago not able to recover. I didn't even see Atomic, and I sit on auto cam all game, so I have this view of 3/4 of the pitch, and he still got away from me somehow.
That pre-jump was absolutely disgusting. Atomic was already screaming across the night sky. Now he does the complete opposite. Earlier on he went early. This time he doesn't go at all. Chicago with his 5th goal of the series.
And that actually puts him up to 11 on the day. He scored 6 versus Friends, so he's having quite the start to the day 1 of the regional so far. What an opening day.
Yeah, having fun back at home in Chicago after excelling on the grand stage, showing that there are no jitters, being back in home surroundings as they're completely taking this one to Complexity. Chicago booms it forward again. AJG and Shad both in the air. And be a negative of Complexity's playstyle, these double commits. When they work, they're beautiful. When they don't, they're just completely left out of boost. And G2 can defend pretty easily. Atomic, he's getting more and more of a play here. He's just forcing these flip resets. He's getting the ball another 10 meters or so into the corner. And G2, they look every bit as fluid as they did at Los Angeles to me right now.
Yeah, really nice approach to the game for G2 so far. Unwilling to give up control where necessary. A lot of great physical approach to play as well. Raiseball one-on-one, and Chicago, for once, not up to the task. Wasn't really sure if Raiseball had enough space to really get above Chicago, but to be honest, watching Chicago rotate back, he was kind of a little lazy. He had 55 boost at the midfield and wasn't really hustling to get back and make sure he could challenge that. Was thinking he had a little more time, I think, to just challenge it and poke it off the bar, but ended up being about a half step behind it.
Suddenly a game that seemed to be drifting somewhat to a G2 victory is just brought back alive again. Atomic and Shad into that one. Raiseball there leaves it actually for AJG. Round he goes. Chicago can't get too much power on his pinch, which means that Raiseball, the man who just got the goal, is able to maybe do some more damage. He's air dribbling it there. Atomic leaves it off him to leave it to JNAPS. And now Chicago onto the backboard. This could be the winning goal. No, again, defended by Complexity. Shad's gearing up something. They're improving achieves as they go on.
It's always the thing about Complexity. They're so tough to just absolutely lock down 100% and be like, yep, we've got them under control. And there is the classic G2 blunder. Everyone's too far forward. It finally comes back to haunt them.
Double commit as well, but why? Why would you double commit when JNAPS is so far at the other end of the field? With 16 seconds left, just a lapse in communication maybe. G2 looks so comfortable. We weren't just praising their goal scoring, we weren't just praising their rotations, we were praising their decision making. It was everything about them, but now suddenly Complexity look like they're making them panic. Chicago's booming clearance though is exactly what G2 need. Is there going to be anyone there underneath them? Atomic up against Raiseball. Raiseball wins it cleanly. Chicago is there. This is actually a chance for a 0-second goal. It's onto the backboard. Is anybody there to win it? No, they're not. And G2, I think, at this point, are relieved for the overtime.
Should be. That was definitely a scary approach with that air dribble and the flip reset, but I think this first couple of salvos towards whatever net it may be on really sets the tone for overtime here for G2. Do they look in control or do they look frazzled?
It's controlled. Nice pass from Chicago out wide to Atomic. This is more the style of G2 that we want to see. Just plodding their way around the pitch. Good decisions, passing when it's right to do so, and speeding up also when they should. It's the complexity. They're going to have to try and take control of the ball. That's the best thing they can do. Chicago, though, wants to make the most of this demo. Yes. And he does with his personal 6th goal of this series.
Look at Atomic get out in front of that play, and the dish from JNAPS back to Chicago. I mean, Atomic securing, again, that space with the physical play in the corner, taking away the only person who can go out and challenge Chicago. He turns in a great double tap into the top of the net. I wanted to know how they looked in overtime. I got it. That was calm, cool, collected. It's like, yeah, did we throw away a lead? Sure. That doesn't matter. We're still going to win. And that's exactly what happened.
I think that game right there, boys, is the litmus test. We'll get a second look over here thanks to Mobile One. And I really think this is the one that tells me that match 1 for G2 kind of was, whether you want to call it a fluke, a warm-up period, or what have you. This, them staying, as you put it, cool, calm, and collected in OT, I think is kind of proof in the pudding that, like, we got the real G2 now. It's all good. You know, complexity here, I'm not counting them out, by the way. I still think this is a strong team, but what I'm seeing out of G2 here is kind of what, you know, you expect from the major winners. I got it. And so, like, looking at that's really where all my eyes are. We do have 3 other games going on across the league at the moment. Ghost Gaming just won their 2nd game above version 1.
Wow.
FaZe Clan is 2-1 above Rogue as well. And Space Station, right down the middle. Let me tune in. Daniel literally just scored to tie it 1-1.
That sounds about right.
20 seconds left. Oh, so that Space Station Oxygen one, what was it? You and Cheese that was talking about the what if about an Oxygen?
That's always Oxygen. They can always just have one heck of a series and make you work a lot harder than you think you should have to.
But I remember, everybody, you can watch all of those series. They're currently going on these Org's brilliant team streams. Go and check those out. They're all genuinely great. Watching team stream is such a fun thing to do with everybody rooting for the same team. But we root for nobody in particular here. We just root, as I said earlier, for Rocket League, and AJG has scored a Rocket League goal. Well done,
he has indeed scored a Rocket League goal. Kind of a weak touch, and Chicago caught one step too far forward. Atomic having to evade a bit of the demo coming through, and that puts him just a little bit behind, so the middle of his car can't get behind the middle of the ball, and he gets out-vectored.
I may be wrong, but I want to say that's the first time that Complexity have scored the first goal in any of these games. So I wonder if that will change the complexion of this one at all, as they're coming into this one for a lead. They certainly won't want to sit on it, and they will want to double down as early as possible, which may be to their detriment as Atomic's rising. He's all alone, and he is going to equalize. He never misses that.
Can always depend on Atomic. That's a huge challenge from Chicago. Honestly, I'm quite astounded that he got that to go forward. I thought at best it was going to go straight up, but had just enough of it to just kick it right up into the ceiling and had enough forward momentum, it seems. So get it right back in short order. Ooh, that's got to be frustrating if you're Complexity. You were hoping maybe you were going to put them in the headlock for a moment. Dish to JNAPS, and a step too far forward for him gives Razebull the time to adjust.
Such a lovely choice, though, to pass after that, because it was a good kickoff there for Complexity. And suddenly G2 turned it into their own chance. Atomic with like a floor reset there, bouncing back to it with his jump. Great play. Didn't quite work out on a goal, but Atomic is just pulling so many strings for G2 right now. Raze will do the same for Complexity. There's a great fake. He goes for the second one. JNAP says, I know what you're doing. Whenever anybody gets one fake, they always go for the second.
You got to. No, huge read from Atomic. I would have committed near post and just gave up a goal.
And here it goes again. He never gives up on the play. Just Atomic. He's just everywhere achieved.
He can't get through him. That's a huge challenge monster at the moment. Boosting up to the ceiling and just stuffing that clear. Honestly,
as well. Oh, that is
gross.
I feel like Atomic is definitely going to be on Chicago's Christmas card list at the end of the year, because Chicago has scored about 57 goals so far this series, and I think a lot of them have been Atomic bundles his way through, Chicago dodges the ball in at the end and claims the plaudits.
Well, Chicago does have a 70.59% shooting accuracy so far.
Well,
Very well could be because Atomic's making it as easy as possible.
Here they go again, the dream duo, Chicago and Atomic. This time JNaps he's waiting all the way back. I thought he was going to be coming forward. AJG tries to flick it on. A lovely touch there from AJG, but it was saved by JNaps, the man who is still shepherding on his own goal line. Complexity continues to keep it going. A snapshot from AJG, and he has equalized.
And again, AJG kind of just right place, right time. Not a bad clear from Chicago, but AJG,
Surprising.
patient midfield defense, and they just catch everybody thinking they have time to go get boost. He just popped it right back towards the net.
Yeah, absolutely. Well played from him. It was a very, very good choice to shoot there rather than take the touch, which I think we all expected is how it snuck underneath the despairing dives of the G2 defense. But JNaps with a lovely little fake there. Chicago keeps it going. AJG wants to pass to Shad. He does have Raiseball in the center here. Can the pass be accurate enough? It was, but the finish from Raiseball a little bit too high. He'll claim that's what he wanted to keep the attack going, put it onto the backboard. Just the first time in this game, despite conceding 2 goals so far, we're starting to see G2 begin to be penned back on their own goal line.
Really nice job from... Ooh, okay, I was wondering if Raiseball was going to connect with that last touch to get it to Shad, but he does have a flip reset here in Chicago, so aggressive. But you're right, G2 being slowly pushed back by Complexity, and it's really a product of how accurate Complexity are being with their touches, working their way through the challenges and getting it onto a teammate's hood. Chicago poking it around as Raiseball, making sure to take that away from the normal flow the G2 defense, and there we go. We see them string together another couple of touches and force G2 backwards. AJG with another fake. Let Shad come through. Goodbye, JNaps. How about a lead for Complexity?
Both you and I raised both our arms and that goal went in. Just because I think we were so excited to see Shad come in there after AJG had done all the hard work. I think the defender had read the second fake. He hadn't read the other man from Complexity flying in to prod it into the bottom corner. Great creativity there from Complexity, exactly what we want to see. And when G2 come forward, I feel like Complexity are defending just that little bit deeper on them as well, giving them some space and then cutting them up before they can finish. But this is just chaos here from G2. I think that was a goal chance, right? There was an angle for him to finish it?
Yeah, I think so, but either way, for once, a ball that Atomic set up not going to find its way into the net. And G2 going to be looking for an equalizer here in the last 90 seconds.
Shad up against Atomic. Atomic has Chicago in front of him. He might take out AJG here. Here he goes from AJG. Does manage to dodge Chicago just about, so great defending from him. He's actually had a brilliant third game as AJG. Wants the backboard again. Raiseball does have the man to the side in AJG. He comes from the ceiling instead. Ooh. Shad's already there. There's a pass, there's a shot, there's all sorts going on. Complexity can do too much, but maybe they've done too much. JNaps coming forward to counter, tries to put it into the corner. Chicago can't quite put it away. G2 so close to equalizing, chances on both ends.
That one stings. You actually really like that transition from G2. Like, JNaps actually tied up the defender adequately, just couldn't handle the bounce. And that is a weak touch from Chicago. They will be punished here. Raiseball will collect. You're going to at least 4 games.
First time on this broadcast, we've not had a sweep so far today, which is always exciting. And what a pass that was there from Shad. You know, he's absolutely nailed that corner of his car to get so much power on it and make sure that the job was as easy as it possibly could have been there from Raiseball to make it 4-2.
You did have to feel like Complexity had to win one game, right?
Yeah.
You can never 3-0 Complexity. They're too good. They're so hard to put away.
It just wouldn't have felt right for a game this fun to watch and exciting. You don't want it to be a sweep. You want this one to go all the way to 5, 99 times out of 100. G2 are doing their best to prove me wrong and make that not the case, but Complexity are just able to defend and then take their way out of defense and put the ball all the way back in orange territory. And it does seem that this one is getting away from G2, barring any last-second theatrics. We have achieved some last-second theatrics.
That being said, you know, it doesn't feel right if you 3-0 Complexity. If I have to offer them on the pyre to see an 18-second 2-goal comeback, yeah, I'll do that.
Jeez, your loyalty continues to astound me, my friend.
I demand chaos.
All right, let's see if you have any. A fake kickoff there from Complexity. That's smart. I like the kickoff play there when there's a little bit of pressure on them to survive for 2 seconds. Complexity F. They managed to take that third game.
Love to see it, man. Love to see it. Like you said, when we're up here, we're kind of just rooting for bonus Rocket League. And that's exactly what we're getting out of here. 5 games, or at least 4, rather, we're getting out of this one. I will say, across the league, Ghost Gaming, they did it again. They swept version 1. Despite version 1 looking good, they did it again, guys.
Wow.
This Ghost Gaming team is all that and a bag of chips. I'm really, really excited for this new Ghost Gaming squad. I mean, I think, you know, where is the ceiling is the question that we have to start asking ourselves, because when you start out the tournament sweeping the general NRG, and then you continue with another sweep, version 1, a different caliber of team, sure, but they are trending upwards. I mean, that's where you start asking the other question.
A different style of team as well, version 1. They are so different to NRG. So the fact that Ghost Gaming have gone through both of them shows that they have adaptability as well achieved.
And they're going to get another different style in their next game because their prize is either G2 or complexity here. So
lucky them.
It only increases, unfortunately, as the upper bracket goes on. But 2 sweeps, 6-0 on the day.
I'll take that.
Where is the ceiling indeed? You can't complain about that any way you dice it.
FaZe Clan and Rogue are going to a game 5, and game 4 is not done yet between Space Station and Oxygen, but Oxygen has the lead. I'm just saying, might be the distance all about today. Right now, though, game 4.
We're having some brilliant games in the upper bracket right now. There's games going to teams that you never expect, and 5-game thrillers and all sorts. What a round of Rocket League this has been so far, and it's no difference right here between Complexity and G2. G2 looked like they were just stepping on top of Complexity, but Complexity, if you just tuned in, have stepped up since then, and they've returned to the style of gameplay that we expect from them. The creativity in attack, the fearlessness in attack. And it's looking like they're starting this 4th game in the same way, Chiefs.
Indeed. And I'm kind of shaken over here a little bit because it's been so long since we've done double elimination anything, I feel like. And I forgot how much pressure there is on every single game. It's just like, oh my goodness, it's terrifying.
I keep pitching a massive single elimination bracket and being shot down, but one day it will happen. You lose once. Yes, F-Talk, you and me. We're going to change the scene. It's going to be every map Aquadome, single elimination, as far as the eye can see. Let's chuck Rumble in there. Why not? Let's really have some fun here.
All right, calm down.
I've lost my one ally.
You lost him.
Anyway, here's AJG onto the backboard. He's going around the world. Chad's right there, putting that one into the center. It's pretty close between these 2 teams in this 4th game. Complexity, I like the way they're playing. They definitely are offering G2 that extra space. They seem less rushed in defense now.
And it's probably the right take because it's seen that. Oh, man, that's another one off the bar for Chicago. It's been so rock solid. Now a couple of shots going awry for them. That's okay. They're not easy chances by any stretch of the imagination. Just to Shad and Atomic all over it. That guy's been an absolute ball hawk.
He has been a menace as far as Complexity are concerned. Every time he gets the ball, you just know there's going to be some sort of brilliant assist, at least assist potential. But the luck just seems to be going slightly against G2 now. I was saying earlier that when you start winning, those things go your way. But there they go. They turn it around. There's Chicago. And who got the assist?
Of course, it was Atomic. And you can see AJG here. He actually...
He just flipped. You know, he was stuck in no man's land. I think that the quality of the goal is chase the Chiefs away. You back with us? You're back with us. I think
I was terrified there. It's just, I saw AJG lock up, and I was like, this is what it was like being AJG. I've gone too far. I must stop.
Well, you didn't miss too much. You saw that kickoff go in there, and we are back as we were. AJG has a pass towards Shad. No, in fact, he has a shot, and AJG scores it.
Well, there you go. He's apparently restarted the engine, and Razebull just fighting 3 people in the same corner, and everybody on G2 realizing we are not in a good spot. And HAG says, thank you very much.
Yeah, Chicago got off for the first time, sees the ball fly over his head when he is on that goal line. F-Dot, something incredible has happened, no doubt.
We are guaranteed a game 5 here between Space Station and Oxygen, and FaZe Clan just clinch their game 5. So we've got a sweep at a Ghost, and then anything but out of everyone else. And Shad giving us all that we asked for here out of Complexity.
Oh man, that was actually pretty gross. The double change of direction on your air dribble. That's That's quite a spicy one.
I don't know how you read that if you're in defense. There were two defenders there. Neither of them had a clue what Shad was doing exactly. You don't. You just do not. You let it sail over your head. You concede the lead and you say, let's go again. Well, they are. Atomic has JNaps in front of him. G2 continuing to bring the fight now to complexity.
Ooh,
This is the sort of
cross. Yep, it's a goal. Yep.
the slugger-thon that we wanted. Atomic assist, JNaps goal.
Of course. Atomic's like, yeah, I'll just challenge for the ball in the corner and just absolutely outmuscle Shad. And Razebull's thinking I need to defend the inner post, and Atomic's thinking, excellent. That's a free pass all the way across the pitch.
It's a performance from Atomic that has got absolutely everything in it. You know, it's got dribbling plays, it's got 50-50s, he's got the solo plays in the air as well. Every time he tries to prod the ball to a teammate, it's at the perfect time, at the perfect pace as well.
He's picking people apart. That's what, and he might score right here. Flip reset? No, he didn't go for it. I thought he was going to try and catch it and then just deliver it into a corner, but went straight for it. But you're absolutely right. Atomic has been money, unstoppable almost in his approach on the blue net.
And here's another one who's been performing pretty well. JNaps gets it over the top of Shad, and there, finally, we have one of the G2 players returning the favor. Atomic getting the finish this time.
Yeah, Shad just not a good line on that JNaps air dribble. I think he kind of thought that it was going to drop a little sooner, and JNaps doing a nice job to just prop that up as much as he could from a pretty flat angle towards the ball. So really nice job to at least stick with it, give himself a chance to break through. And Atomic, of course, playing aggressive as G2 likes to do right behind him, trying to capitalize on any advantage that may materialize.
Quick fire from G2, and suddenly they are the ones who have this slender lead. But Complexity are coming forward again. AGG fakes it out to let Shad go around the outside, but what a clearance that was from Chicago towards JNaps. The transition game, perfect pretty much there from G2 to get themselves back on the attack. Razebull booms it as far as Shad, but these two-man transitions not really going anywhere for Complexity right now. The third player is so deep that all they're doing is going into G2 territory, allowing chances like this from JNaps. Tries to roll his way around the ball, but ran out of boost before he could do any damage. Chicago onto the backboard there. Shad clears it to the side. And Complexity just seeing time tick away from them. They have to turn this one around, and they have to do it fast. And they haven't had anywhere near as many chances as they'd like in the last 15 seconds or so. G2 are reading everything. They are doing so well. Will they get the one more chance they need, or will they even need more than one? It's just over the top from Atomic. 25 seconds left.
I think you made a good point about that two-man transition not quite having enough pieces to really stitch it together, and that's because G2 being so aggressive in the midfield, always contesting that pass out to the teammate, not letting them trap it for free and make whatever next decision that Complexity wants to do. And now with time ticking down to 0, they got to make something big happen, and that pinch going to make them do it the hard way.
4 seconds left. One more chance for a pass, but Shad has, we'll say, faked it. Razebull tries to prod it over the top. JNaps is there, booms it as far as he can, but Shad will be underneath it. Keeps the ball high. Razebull does have some boost. AJG is there. He takes it over the top of Shad. G2 are going to watch that one go wide, and G2, your winter major winners, are also going to win here.
Hero's effort, though, from Complexity. Yes. Really liked that last couple of pushes. Didn't quite have the execution to really scare G2, but definitely pressuring, definitely understanding the situation and knowing how to execute in it. Just couldn't stitch it together when it counted. And G2, I think you said at the start, Cole, they look like major winners, and that's how they absolutely came out here and performed.